So when we are labeling the pieces of information, so we have cashew nuts that cost this rate, Brazil nuts that cost this rate, and then we're creating a 22-pound mixture that costs $6.15. So if I were to label these, and I'll call it here cashews, I'll call C. Brazil nuts, I'll label B. And so I know a couple things based on this information. First, I know the total, so I'm going to write over here. So the sum of the two types of nuts is going to equal this total of 22 pounds. Okay? And then I also know that this total cost of $6.15 per pound, so if I take $6.15 times the number of pounds, 22, and that's going to be equal to $7.60 times each pound of cashews plus $4.70 times each pound of Brazil nuts. So here are my two equations from this relationship. Okay? And so now it's just a matter of, again, just solving for one of the variables. So I'm going to go ahead and just solve for C up here. C is equal to 22 minus B. And I could substitute that into my equation right here. Okay? So if I multiply this through, I get 615 times 22, which is 135.3. And that's going to equal 7.6 times, and I'll substitute in my 22 minus B here, plus 4.7B. And so now it's a matter of getting rid of my grouping symbol, so I'll distribute through. So I get 7.6 times 22, which is 167.2. And then 7.6B plus 4.7B. So now I'm going to combine my like terms here, and I'm going to move my constant over to the other side. Notice this creates a negative number, and that's okay. When I subtract these, I wind up with a negative 2.9. And here, when I combine these terms, it's also going to be a negative number. So, let me go back. Here I get a negative 31.9. And when I combine these two terms, I also get a negative number, which is negative 2.9b. Okay, and so my final step here is to divide both sides by the negative 2.9. To isolate my b, the negatives cancel, and 31.9 divided by 2.9 gives me 11. So there is my number of pounds for b. And then I can bring that right back up to this location, and I can substitute in 22 minus 11, and that's going to give me my remaining pounds of cashews, which will also, in this case, be 11. Those may not be the same. They may be different values. In this particular case, they wound up being the same.